This is a story of boy meets girl, but you should know up front, this is not a love story.
What's going on, y'all? Today we're going to be talking about Latania Janell Carwell. She was a 16-year-old high school honor student from Georgia. After celebrating her birthday with family and then going to bed, she was allegedly later woken up in the middle of the night by her stepfather. He said he needed to use her phone to look up something. A friend of his needed a lift because he didn't know how to use the phone. He needed her to come with him. Allegedly, that's what the mother said. We're going to look at a few clips and I'm going to give you guys the story, man. Don't forget to hit the like button, drop a comment, tell me what you think while you're watching it. Man, I'm definitely going to be checking it. This is a really unfortunate story. Let's get into it.
And it's been a week and a half of sheer agony for the immediate family. Latania Carwell's mother and uncle have come forward pleading with the public to help share this story so that their loved ones can be found.
I'm not eating, I'm not sleeping, I'm just worried about my family.
The past 11 days have been hard for the mother of 16-year-old Latania Carwell.
If y'all see him, please call authorities to help my family get home.
Tanya Tripp's emotional plea comes after her daughter went missing from her South Augusta home in the wee hours of the morning on her 16th birthday. She left with her stepdad, 38-year-old Leon Tripp, to help a friend. Tanya Tripp says her husband only called by his first name as they left.
I got her because you sick, and he said I didn't want to bother you, so I asked our daughter would she go help me find Maurice. He said he had a call from a friend that was stuck on side the road in Clarks Hill.
Tripp says her family calls her daughter by her middle name, Janelle. The T.W. Josie sophomore has earned several awards for her schoolwork, and her uncle says he knows she's a good kid looking into the medical field.
She knows how to cook, clean, very well groomed, very well spoken. She's smart. I just believe she's in a situation where she can't get on the phone and call uncle, mom, or some kind of relative, because by now she would have reached out or walked in the door on her own by now.
Charles Carwell is Tanya Tripp's brother, and he says he isn't sold on the reason why Janelle and her stepdad left.
It's almost as if it was premeditated because this girl goes missing on her 16th birthday, and how, she was brought out the house is just doesn't sit well with me.
After some time, a lot of people started to notice that things did not add up and started questioning the family, fam. A lot of people within the neighborhood, and the way that the mother reacted and some of the things that she had to say didn't really sit well with me or a lot of people when they heard it.
This case may have been upgraded to kidnapping, but Latania Carwell's mother is sticking to her story. Her husband took their daughter in the middle of the night to help a friend.
In my heart and mind, I feel like he didn't kidnap our daughter.
This Augusta stepfather went from missing with his stepdaughter to being her accused kidnapper.
These kids go with their dad all the time. So you mean to tell me every time they go somewhere with him, it's a kidnapping? Just because I didn't know it the second that he left with her?
But Tanya Tripp isn't buying this turn in the investigation. She says her husband, Leon Tripp, needed Latania Janell Carwell's tech-savvy skills to operate cell phone GPS to help a friend with car trouble in South Carolina. The door slammed, and the two took off in the family truck, later found less than a mile from their home on Old McDuffie Road. Tripp says the days leading up to the incident during the early morning hours of April 17th were normal.
We was going to celebrate her birthday when she came home from school and stuff. And she was like, no, I just want you to cook me some fried chicken and macaroni, Mom. That's all I want.
Investigators say Leon Tripp was spotted at a Stop and Shop grocery in Atlanta 4 days after he left his Augusta home. Janelle was not with him, though it's believed both are in Atlanta. As national media reports the story, some believe the father and daughter had a relationship.
Really? He married to all this prettiness and he gonna run away with our daughter? Come on now. That's stupid.
Excuse me? He messed with all this prettiness? What? Okay, when I first heard that, immediately I felt envy. I felt hatred. I didn't feel I'm worried about my daughter because no real mother that's concerned, at least in my personal opinion, would immediately jump to that. If anything's an option, let's weigh out the options. I need to find my daughter. This is the last person she was seen with. What? Why would that not even be an idea in your head unless something is up? Fam, that's nasty. You know what? I'm playing a nasty song for that.
Yeah. You nasty fam, you nasty. You nasty fam, you nasty. You nasty fam, you nasty. You nasty fam, yeah. You know your name.
A tipster contacted the Carwell family stating they saw Janell just 2 days after she left with her stepfather. They said they saw her here in Clearwater, South Carolina, off Belvedere Clearwater Road between Lakeview Drive and Irene Street. It was about 1:30 in the morning and she was wearing a backpack. But when they asked Janell if she needed a ride, she said no, because she needed to meet someone. Tripp's lengthy criminal history stretches back to 2001 in various Georgia counties. His charges include cruelty to children, armed robbery, aggravated assault, and battery.
You see, and it's things like that. I'm not saying that anyone who's had a bad history or any kind of criminal past is automatically bad. But when they have those type of things on their, like, their resume, their jacket, their whatever the hell you want to call it, that's when alarms should probably go off, in my personal opinion. I don't know. Do you disagree with me? You a weirdo. Nah, I'm joking. let me not just go off the deep end. But yeah, that just doesn't seem right. That sounds off like crazy.
I spoke with the investigator and he says there was no call requesting Tripp help a friend with a car on the side of the road in Clarks Hill. Mrs. Tripp maintains her belief that the two left to do just that.
Spoiler alert. She's not stupid. That's just her being nasty, fam. Yo, let's keep playing it. Let's keep playing it. I'm gonna save my most of my opinions for the end, okay? Latania's stepfather was found. You're not gonna believe who was with him. Actually, no. You might definitely believe who they found with him.
Kim, U.S. Marshals arrested Leon Tripp this morning at a business in DeKalb County. A spokesman with the Richmond County Sheriff's Office tells me investigators from both Richmond County and Fulton County worked together to locate Tanya Tripp. She was found in a home in Atlanta where she was living with her husband, the man accused of kidnapping their daughter.
It's half of it. The other half I'm looking for is bringing her home.
Charles Carwell wants his niece back home in Augusta.
Glad they got him in custody, and hopefully he can lead us to her.
Latania Carwell is still missing despite the 16-year-old's mother and stepfather both being in custody. Charles Carwell told us this month that he received a tip that his niece was seen walking down Belvedere Clearwater Road between Irene Street and Lakeview Drive. But investigators didn't get that tip. Carwell says he believes his niece is probably in the same area where Leon Tripp was arrested.
At this point, I would think if he was caught in Atlanta, she would be in the Atlanta area also. I wouldn't think she would be around here and just stay away like that. I mean, that would make no sense. It's possible, but unlikely, I think, at this point.
Tanya Tripp kept her story the entire time, telling News Channel 6 on multiple occasions that her daughter left with her husband to help a man with car trouble in South Carolina. She says Latania often called Janell by family, helped her stepdad with cell phone GPS. The two never returned. Now investigators are charging Tanya Tripp with her connection to her husband, who was a fugitive, wanted for kidnapping. All Charles Carwell wants is his niece found.
All signs point back to him. I mean, she didn't take him. She can't force him to do anything. So not sure really how he got her to go with him or whatever the story may be, but definitely it's his influence getting her to leave the house.
Nasty. Her mom is a foul human being, if even that. If I'm even gonna call her a human being. That's straight disgusting, fam. You sit there, you think he gonna leave for? I told you. I heard a lot of envy, some jealousy, and that's supposed to be your child. You're supposed to be her mother. There was a quote from The Crow. Mother is the name of God to all children. I've always remembered that, and I treat my mother as such, with respect, fam. With respect and care and love. My mom has always treated me that way. So when I see mothers like this, it's like, that's like you're like a movie villain. It's nasty. Latania's body was later on found by the police.
How long was she suffering? You know, when did she actually die? What did they actually do to her?
Did he kill her before he drug up that big old hill? Or did he come from behind? Because we walked all back there.
Question after question plagues the community that grew to love Latania Janell Carwell in the months between when she was reported missing just after her 16th birthday until now. Armed with confirmation that human remains found on Golden Camp Road are hers, Sheriff Richard Roundtree says the case can move forward.
Anytime you try a case and you do not have remains, there's always that small amount of doubt that may be in the juror's mind that the person is not deceased, especially based on some rumors that went on when this first started. This lays that speculation to rest.
Sheriff Roundtree addresses how his office investigated the disappearance of the teen, admitting they were misguided by what he calls a well-rehearsed story given by Tanya Tripp on the night her husband, Leon Tripp, and daughter left their Tate Road home. And he says even though he conducted several searches, including one directly across the street from where remains were located, they were at a disadvantage.
The remains were found in the backyard of a residence that Pets found out to be was vacant at the time. At this time, when the bank took over and the person was prepared to move in, surveying the property, they came across. Doing our search, we only searched common areas, and we encouraged the public to check their yards.
The sheriff says he expects the pending autopsy will answer questions people still want to know. So far, we know the case focuses on the Terrace Manor area, starting with Janell's last known location at her Tate Road home, her body nearby on Golden Camp Road, and the family's truck abandoned off Old McDuffie Road.
The people we have in custody are responsible for that.
If there was any doubt in your mind that her mother and her stepfather could not be responsible for this, you would be crazy. But they found more evidence that proved that not only did they do this nasty ass act, that the mother tried to hire a hitman previously. Straight disgusting.
These are the newest court documents introduced in early April. They show prosecutors have evidence that connect Leon and Tanya Tripp to a murder plot that stretches back at least 2 years before Janell Carwell went missing from this home.
Perhaps they did solicit someone. But the fact still remains that everything's pointing at them. And I hope that they die by the hands of the state.
A shocking twist in the murder case of Janell Carwell. This notice of the state's intent to introduce similar act evidence ahead of trial shows Leon and Tanya Tripp solicited and attempted to commit murder against their daughter, Latania Janell Carwell, September to December 2015, and 2 reported meetings in October 2016. The news, coming 3 years after the teen went missing, reached Ray Montana, who spent months searching.
Days and days, 100 degrees sweat. Many people fell out. A couple of our search team, they went to the hospital. One young lady had to get a spinal tap because of the heat and everything. So it was definitely emotional. It caused a lot of depression in a lot of our lives because it affected the community. Janell was like one of our own kids. Prosecutors state they offered the new evidence to show several things, such as motive, intent, preparation, a plan, and prior knowledge. It's something that Pastor Angela C. Hardin says the community heard about before.
We heard that back in 17 that it possibly could be another person, but we heard nothing else.
Janell's aunt, the wife of the teen's late uncle, Charles Carwell, and Tanya Tripp's brother, Shadero Carwell, shares these words following the update. I'm at a loss for words and completely heartbroken. She had her whole life ahead of her. I feel so bad. We were so close to her and never knew she was in that much danger. She adds the Tripps had their minds made up and were consistent and determined to have her niece gone. We have yet to know that plan, but Montana says while searching the area several months prior to where Carwell's remains were later located, he tried to give all tips to investigators about possible additional involvement. A guy approached the door with a gun in his hand. He said, you're going to have to get off this property. I said, well, I know you're renting this property, but the owner of this property told me that I could search this property. He said, no, you're going to have to leave today. And I left. I went straight to the Richmond County Sheriff Department and told him about the gentleman and told him about the property and told him about my assumptions that Janell was on that property.
What was it that's so bad that would cause a mother to want to do that and then get someone to help? So we're in some sad times, as a spiritual leader. Anytime we leave God out, and I believe that's what's happening in the earth right now, we have left God out.
This story is insane, fam. And the stepfather apparently was still trying to claim their innocence. Kiss my ass, fam. No. You're nasty. You're nasty. Why would you even... the mother is really who needs to be focused on, though. I think she deserves even harsher of a punishment, fam. Even aligning herself with that. They found you at his house. When people tried to look at the property, he came out with a gun. What? What the hell is wrong with you? Why would y'all even think that in any way, shape, or form that was okay? That you wouldn't be found and persecuted for it? Like, these people are nasty. Not just these people. There's a lot. They're not the only ones that think like that. There's a whole plethora of people out here in this world that think the same way. Jealous and envious of your own child to where you would do that. Did you hear the way she was talking about her? And he got all of this. Why would he want She sounded like Monique on the Precious movie. I was going to call it Precious, but I think it's called, it is called Precious. Yeah, the book is called Push. But yeah, she sounded just like Monique, fam. Like, it was really, really disturbing to actually watch that. And it's just unfortunate. It's a horrible story, guys. Let me know what you think about this down below in the comment section. If you know any more stories similar to this, because these are cautionary tales, and I definitely will do my best to tell the story and put the word out there. Share it with me via email if you can. The email should be linked below. Thank you, guys. I appreciate the hell out of y'all. See you later.